Alright, so let's have a look at the ThinkPad T40. What I'll do is I'll log in with my account. Don't you just love that startup sound? It is running the version of Windows XP that's included on the recovery partition of the hard drive. It is still the original, I think it's a 20 gig hard drive or something like that in there. Let me have a look. It's a 25 gigabyte hard drive. So it's not huge. It's IDE, so it is relatively slow. So included, other than the stuff that I've installed myself, some of the things that it came with were applications like this one, Access IBM. You get that lovely sort of flash animation, and it tells you, welcome, Access IBM, your guide to a host of information sources and tools. Okay, we'll just hit continue. And you can tell this is just like a flash player type thing. It's got different tabs, the first one being Learn, and in here you've got things about, learn how to use the hardware features of your laptop. And there's different photos of all the different ports and where you can plug things in and out of. Then there's a configure tab where you can conserve energy through your power management settings. It's worth noting that I am running off the battery. This is one of the original batteries. I have two batteries. One doesn't show up at all, and the other is this one. And right now I'm on 83%. I haven't charged it in like a month, and it's still holding a charge quite well. And then you can go through the battery maximizer wizard, and to be honest with you, it's all a little bit placebo. It does things like turn the brightness down, and you might get an extra 2 minutes out of that. So not really worth it in this day and age. Just plug it in if you really need it for that long. Yeah, we will skip to protect and recover. And you've got a couple of different options. You can back up your data, you can secure it from unauthorized access. I'm sure that encryption's spot on for today. Diagnose a problem. Interesting, troubleshoot problems. It just takes you through step by step on how to troubleshoot issues. Then there's get help and support, where you can update your drivers, newest device drivers. I bet that won't do anything when I connect to it. No, I'm not connected to the internet at the moment, so no biggie. You can ask an expert, call IBM. There is a phone number here. There are a few phone numbers here for different countries. We're in the United Kingdom. I'm curious if this phone number still works. Let's have a look.
You've dialed an incorrect number. Please check the number and try again.
Damn. Can't call IBM anymore, folks, unfortunately. So we'll just skip that. And then there's stay current. So, stay up to date. Gain new PC freedom with enhanced wireless connectivity management. Interesting. Okay, we'll close out of that. What else do we have in here? We have Easy Eject utility. Let's see what we can easily eject. The disk drive. Okay, easily eject it. What's stopping me from just pressing the button? Oh, you know what it probably is? There's a switch next to the disk drive, and it lets you like hot swap the drive bays. So they would have had like a floppy disk drive bay. They would have had probably an external hard drive bay, so you can get a second hard drive in there. So easy eject probably so you can easily eject it. Would you believe that? What other utilities do we have in here? IBM Access Connections, IBM Rapid Restore PC. That's probably just a backup utility there. Update connector, that wouldn't work anymore because the servers aren't there. Keyboard customizer, okay. So ThinkPad keyboard layout, US English. Well, no, it's actually UK English. So you can customize the Windows key to be another key. Oh, interesting. So you can customize the Alt-GR key to be the Windows key, and it doesn't do anything. That's because I've not enabled it. User error, that's what we call it. Look at that. Because the keyboard itself doesn't actually have a Windows key, you can map it to something else. The Alt-GR key, whatever that does. There you go. We'll close that. Let's see what else we've got in these IBM utilities. Presentation director, okay. So when you're doing important PowerPoint presentations to the board, make sure you use presentation director. It lets you create and edit display schemes. You can save a scheme. Let's say you want to be able to mirror onto a data projector of some kind when you do your corporate reporting annual meeting with the executives. You can plug it in to the S-video output, you can plug it into the VGA output. So you can probably customize the layout if you want it to mirror, or if you want it to maybe extend the desktop and whatever. So really not that interesting and not useful in this day and age, to be honest with you. ThinkPad configuration. This is probably my favorite, easily. This is like a front end to the BIOS. So you can actually change all of the settings that you would normally be able to change in the BIOS straight from Windows. So system information, you can see we've got 0.5 gig of RAM, we've got a x86 Family 6 Model 9 Stepping 5 processor. You can see the BIOS version. We're on version 2.11 from the 30th of October 2003, long time ago. Battery information, we can see, so the battery that's in here, manufacture date is the 4th of December 2003. What were you doing on the 4th of December 2003? First use date was December 2003. So it's fairly safe to say that this was, first purchased around December, Christmas time, probably 2003, which is kind of cool. And the battery does still hold its charge. It says that full charge capacity is 31.25 watt hours. Interesting. And you can keep hitting refresh to see your battery slowly draining, as you are as well in a global pandemic. Accessibility options. So you can do sticky keys, track point. You can disable it if you wanted to do that. I don't, because I quite like to use it, to be honest. Audio, you can turn on and off. Infrared, turn on and off. What I like is every time you hover over the button, you get this sort of graphical display of what it is. It's kind of nice. Parallel port is enable, disable, and you can change bidirectional, whatever you want to use it for. Display just takes you to the Windows display, so it's cheating. It's not really going to the BIOS. I get it. Touchpad, turn it on and off. Security information, so you can see if there's any passwords on the hard drive or on the BIOS or anything like that. The security chip disabled. LCD settings, which is just brightness and stuff like that. You get the picture. You can basically change all the settings in your BIOS, but straight in Windows, which is really cool. So yeah, kind of a nice little feature. You get all the little pictures of, what you're looking at. What else do we have in here? ThinkPad software installer. Oh yes. So this is where you can install or upgrade drivers or ThinkPad software, uninstall and view current version information. In 2021 words, it's basically a bloatware shitware installer. So what IBM used to do is, in a part of your hard drive, fill it up with installer files for all sorts of shit you didn't need, let's have a look. ThinkPad audio features. Intel ProSet, Intervideo, WinDVD, full screen magnifier, video features. So you just got all sorts of junk. I think I've actually got a lot of this already installed anyway. I don't really care. I don't want any of that garbage on here, even though I do have some. UltraNav Wizard is basically, you can customize your UltraNav pointing stick or your touchpad. I hate the touchpad on this thing. It is so small. It feels okay, but honestly, these clunky plastic buttons haven't really aged very well. Plus the track point on this thing's really nice, really smooth, and doesn't have any kind of track point drift. Let's see what else we've got here. Elaborate bytes. No, that's mine. I put that on there. IBM registration. You want to get your full warranty, you've got to register. And what better way to register than the IBM customer registration form? So basically what you'll do is punch in your model number and serial number, which is already pre-filled. Look at that. What time did you purchase? Let's say December, let's say this was the last minute Christmas gift, 23rd of December, 2003. Oh, you can only choose between the years 2000 and 2007. So 2000, it's a bit before their time, but 2007, you know, if you're buying this computer in 2008, you're probably not buying it from IBM, you're buying it from eBay. So let's go 2003. Was this PC purchased for, let's say, for our home business in the United Kingdom? Hit next. You've got to put in your details. We just skip that. Hey, sure you want to skip secure education? Yes, I don't care about registration. Why would I even waste my time doing any of that for absolutely no reason? What else do we have on here that was pre-installed? Norton Antivirus 2003. When you load this, when you click on it, it loads up the installer. So it's not even installed when you buy the computer. They have the decency of letting you choose whether or not you want this piece of shit antivirus on your computer. We don't want it. It's from 2003. The definitions are probably from then. I highly doubt that Symantec still have the definitions available to be updated. Highly doubt it. I'm not even going to bother trying. What else do we have on here? Oh yeah, Inter Video Win DVD. I actually do have that installed. And this is a DVD player. You know how a DVD player works. I'm not going to show you that in this video. What else do we have on here? That's pretty much it in terms of the junk and crapware that was pre-installed on here. I mean, the Access IBM stuff's kind of interesting. This wallpaper is something that came already pre-installed. There are some extra themes on here. There's one here called Active Think, which is kind of nice. Change to that one. So it's still the Windows Lunar theme, but the silver one. Changes the background to this kind of cool, dynamic, active desktop background. What I'll do is I will make sure that the icons are all enabled as well, so you can see the icons. So yeah, you know, your My Computer icon, your My Documents, your My Network Places. But one thing I do like is the fact that this background is dynamic. So it'll show you when you're connected to the Wi-Fi, how strong your signal is. This doesn't have inbuilt Wi-Fi, so I can't really demonstrate that. It'll show you if you've got any emails. I'm fairly sure that only works with Outlook Express, which no email server these days is going to be compatible with. It shows you your battery level, which is kind of cool. You can see mine is around in the 70% zone, which is true, 74%. And how much hard drive space you've used in these sort of complicated matrix of dots. So it's kind of actually a cool concept. I've never seen this in any other machine before. But if we look at some of the other themes, there's this one, Think theme, and we'll enable this one. Same thing with the Windows XP Silver, the Lunar Silver thing, but different background this time around. And it's not a dynamic background, it is just a probably like a JPEG or a bitmap or something of some kind, with these very 90s red, green, blue, very IBM of that time. It's kind of nice, kind of dark, sort of fits the sort of theme of this machine. But what I will do is I'll move it back to this one. This is the one that I was using. It's just the plain Windows XP Lunar theme with the provided IBM Think backdrop. Screensavers, you do actually get some screensavers. You get this one, Rebus IBM, which is just that classic IBM thing that they were doing in sort of like the 90s and 2000s. IBM. Yeah, it's kind of a weird logo, to be honest. Fun little animation though. It's quite a nice animation. It's probably just like a shockwave flash type thing of some kind. When you press settings, you get this Rebus. Rebus? I think it's pronounced Rebus. Rebus IBM, about or okay. You press about. An I for perception, insight vision, a B for industriousness, dedication and perseverance, an M for motivation, merit, moral strength. Those are words to live by, really. IBM. Copyright IBM 2002. All rights reserved. Very nice. I don't think there are any other... Are there any other ones? TPNARA. Oh yeah, this one's fancy. This one's definitely a shockwave flash animation. It's showing all the sort of capitals and, you know, important areas of the world to show how international we are, because we're international business machines. So look at all these places where we operate from, I'm assuming. I'm just judging this completely based off the screensaver, but there's this sort of nice little IBM ThinkPad that's appearing and disappearing from the corner, showing all the countries in this interesting map with, of course, the United States, well, the Americas in general, all in the center, leaving Europe, Russia, and Asia to get fucked off to the side. And if we move the mouse, we can close that off. Settings, you just get this screen that says ThinkPad, made with Mac Sorcery. Mac Sorcery, interesting. Could be Macromedia related. Who knows? I have no clue. I actually quite like that screensaver, so I'm going to set it. I do have like the media center style and, you know, Royale with cheese, I call it, style. There's the Zune style, which is my favorite back in the day when I used Windows XP, the Zune theme. It just hits different. I do obviously have Office 2003, because why wouldn't I? This is a machine from 2003, 2004. Everyone was using Office 2003 pretty much in that time, obviously. Email, funnily enough, I don't have set up. One day I wouldn't mind setting up like an old school Exchange server. That might be one for another video, who knows? But yeah, I've got Outlook on there. Let's just load up a classic Office program, Office PowerPoint 2003. You've got the classic Office 2003 running on Windows XP. It doesn't get more 2004 businessman than this. What we're going to do is create a new presentation using a auto content wizard. Ooh, look at that. I love that graphic design, the red, green, blue. Kind of fits in with the IBM color scheme, don't you think? We want something corporate, and we're going to do a business plan. We'll go with the first option, business plan. You've got financial overview, company meeting. You know what, let's go company meeting, because I was talking about meetings before. You know, you've got the presentation director software installed. Of course you're going to use it for company meeting. All right, what kind of output will you use? 35mm slides, yes, please. No, we're going to use a on-screen presentation, because we've got this beautiful laptop with a VGA output, which we will connect to our data projector. Presentation title, we're going to do important company meeting. And on the footer, we'll just say Arizona Palms. All right, that's all we needed to do a company meeting slideshow. And if we hit F5, we've got the wonderful, look at that, it comes with all of the effects preloaded. I'm surprised it doesn't have like the sound effects of like the glass crashing and, you know, car accident and woman screaming .wav or something like that. How did we do? Brief overview of performance against each objective. Organizational overview. So it basically tells you how to run your basic company meeting. I should really take this to work one day and try and run a meeting using Office 2003 PowerPoint. I'm sure that will go very well considering I work in IT. I think if they saw Windows XP, they would throw up and I'd get fired immediately. Yeah, revenue and profit. Beautiful. Okay, key spending areas. Now let's put the presentation director to the test. You know, this wouldn't be Arizona Palms if we didn't have the actual hardware at hand that this is intended for. You're ready to do your company meeting presentation that you've made on your new ThinkPad that you bought last minute at Christmas in 2003. Here we are. You brought your laptop into the meeting, running on the battery. Very impressive. The CEO is going to love that. And you're ready to hook up into the data projector via your VGA cable. I was about to say HDMI. HDMI is not around yet. And we're going to plug that into the side. It would help if you actually select VGA as a source on there. All right, it's skipped over computer 1. Okay. Skipped over computer 1, couldn't find anything on there, that's fine. It's probably not, it's because we're not using the presentation director software. Okay, so presentation on projector and ThinkPad, apply. So just hit that. Ooh, we've heard the Windows thing go off. I'm going to hit source search. It's doing something now on computer 1. Very good. And there we go. We've got our, laptop connected up for a presentation. Now, in my flat, I don't have any room to film a projector, so this is probably the best you're gonna get. Let me try and fix this up a little bit because it's a bit pathetic. So we've got the laptop hooked in nicely with the projector. First thing I noticed as soon as I enabled the presentation director, the brightness went really all the way down on the laptop display, obviously to conserve energy because we are running the power maximizer on our ThinkPad. So we're going to hit F5 and we can get straight back into our company meeting. And, look at that lovely animation on the middle of the screen there. Fascinating. Yeah, this is how it was done. This is how businesses ran. There weren't such things as Microsoft Teams. You had to go in face to face, look your boss in the eye and try and sell him, a new fleet of your ThinkPad T40s, and what better example to use than this one? We can turn on our little Think light, whatever it's called, and, we've got lovely display mirroring happening in real time. And it looks really, really sharp. It looks really nice. So yeah, the ThinkPad T40, honestly, I like having this laptop in my collection. It's a lot of fun. It's got the original hard drive in there with the original recovery partition. So when I fuck up all the software and, install a virus of some kind, I can just go into the IBM recovery thing through the BIOS and restore Windows XP to the factory thing, but obviously it includes all of that junk that I showed you earlier. If I could change one or two things, I would probably have the higher resolution display model. Mine's only 1024 by 768. I'm fairly sure these came in a 1280 by 1024 model. I would like to install wireless at some point, just because if I want to use wireless, I have to use a little USB dongle. I do have a PCMCIA USB card, but then that sticks out right at the front. It's really ugly. What am I doing with my life?